Yeah.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Teacher Faith, and here with me we have Teacher Mei.
Hello, everyone. I'm Teacher Minnie here. Nice meeting every one of you.
Okay, let me do a self-introduction to all those who may not know me, or probably it's your first time joining BlueTree's webinar. I'm Teacher Faith, the founder of BlueTree, and my background is I'm a math teacher for a very, very long time. So PSLE math specialist, PSLE math setter back then when I was in MOE, all right, and definitely mark math papers for many, many years. I was teaching in MOE schools and GEP schools. That's where my specialization is for 15 years. So my belief is being a teacher is not what I do, but it's who I am. So walk the talk. I have 3 kids myself. They are 16, 13, and 11. And all those who are in my class, I'm a big fan of maths puns, maths jokes that will make their eyes roll. Like, oh, stop it, Teacher Faith. Here, me, back to you.
Yeah, hi everybody. So I'm Teacher Minnie here. So some of you are not very familiar with me or have not seen me before. I've been teaching math for almost 12 years at tuition centers and private tuition as well. So I started off teaching when I was in university till now. Yeah, so specializes in lower and upper primary math. And I believe that every child is unique, and with love and patience, each child can shine on their own. And my quote is that whatever you learn is yours forever, because knowledge is power as well. So whatever you have learned, pick up in your knowledge, it always follows you through your whole life.
I totally believe in that. I always tell my students, if your friend wants to steal a pen from you, just take it. They want to steal money from you, just take it. But they cannot steal knowledge from you.
Yeah.
Okay? So kids, whatever you learned every day, starting even from today, it will just keep building on and keep building on, and you'll just become richer and more powerful in terms of knowledge. So remember that. Okay, what's Solve Technique about? This is our unique technique that we use at BlueTree, all right? SOLVE is an acronym that we use. S stands for search for clues. So we believe in this technique of reading and writing, read and draw. We read the question sentence by sentence, and with each sentence, we start to work on the solution. It has proven that it has helped many children build their confidence. So example, we read a question that says B has 3 times as many as A. We can quickly draw a model or maybe present it in the form of ratio. And then when we obtain evidence, which means that it helps us to loop and link up the information, like saying 4 units equals to 20, for example. This unitary approach is really brilliant because at PSLE marking level, we award 1 mark for any child that shows a relationship in their understanding, okay? And to locate the key, simply, you pull out your finger like that. So it looks like you're holding a key and you're going to unlock the mystery, right? So it is always to find 1 unit. The moment you find 1 unit, it is almost the key to unlock the mystery. All you need to do is to read the math question again so that you know whether you're looking for boys or girls, shaded or unshaded area, or looking for percentage or fraction as a final answer. So that is that last part that is so important to, lock in the mark. Okay, so at BlueTree, we also use the detector approach very much for various types of concepts and heuristics. Like these are some of the examples. So students who have been with us for a while, or you join us for our holiday program, you will be exposed to all of these. We will show you some of this tonight, not everything, okay? Haha, so this is something that I think almost every parent would have known, especially if your child is already in P6. These are all the, not just the topics, but the add-ons, okay? Because I didn't put whole numbers there, because from primary 1, they would have learned whole numbers, but whole numbers just, just get bigger and the question type gets harder. And as you can see in primary 4, they will add on topics like factors and multiples, fractions, decimals, angles. These are totally new to the P4. And by P5, they have the add-ons, the ratio, proportion, the volume, percentage, area of perimeter, and so on. And I had to put fractions there again because the skill set learned in primary 4 and 5 is totally different. Okay. All right. 5, they learn multiplication and division, whereas in primary 4, they only learn addition and subtraction first. So primary 6, you have less topics to cover, but don't forget the runway is shorter. So we actually finish it by June, and you have to learn all these topics and master it, ready for your August prelims. Okay. All right, children, parents, I always get this question, do I need to study for everything? How to study for everything? We used to spot question in secondary school, right, Mi?
Yeah.
Right? Spot
Yes, correct.
this 2 chapter, then we give up learning the other chapter. Yeah, but parents, you can work smart, be wise. If you know that the proportion is in this manner, all right, numbers will, fractions fall under numbers as well, okay? Measurements, ratio, percentage, all these make up about 65%. And that is why you will know that your child is not scoring well. And often I hear, my child very bad at fraction, ratio, percentage. Do you see? It falls under this category. And once you haven't mastered it in primary 4 and 5, in primary 6, you already see it surfacing that if out of this 65%, you only master 30% of it. And that's why you are not seeing the AL1 and AL2 that, you wish that is, coming. Next one will be speed and average, which is a very small percentage of 4 and 5% only. So if I would say that algebra is not hard to master, speed is really difficult. So I would say that, play it well. If your child is really struggling with the speed topic, do as much as you can. Don't have to like drill 1,000 questions just to 4 or 5 mark. I would say you drill 1,000 questions for the FRP, the 65% component. Yeah. Mingy, you want to go through this one? Are you familiar?
Oh, okay. So this one is basically the analysis from 2020 to 2022, whereby based on paper 1 and paper 2 calculation, the number of questions that came out for the particular topics itself. So as you can see through the 3 different years, the whole numbers is usually about 23. Yeah, 20
Yes.
Yeah, and the ratio and percentage takes up about 11 to 18, that range as well. Yeah, so total percentage is about 6. So the total is about 60
60%.
marks. Yeah, 60% for these 3 different topics.
Yes, so that's what we are highlighting over there. Okay, it's quite a huge proportion. I just read the chat. Someone asked, what is measurement? Measurement is all the conversions that you need: kilograms, grams, liters, milliliters, and so on. Yeah, okay. Like time, hours, minutes, they don't fall into any category specifically already. When in P1, P2, you open a textbook, you'll see this chapter called time. By primary 6, there's no this chapter called time anymore. It's embedded in the big question, like topic like speed and so on. Yeah, so there could be some conversion required. So they all fall under measurements. Okay. What are statistics? Graph, bar graph, line graph, pie chart, average. Average fall under this topic, statistics. Okay. What was the hardest PSLE paper in the past 3 years? I would say that it has been a very fair paper year after year, even 15 years in MOE. Every year, right, there will be like one difficult MCQ question. And under booklet B, there will be another one difficult 2-mark question. Then when you go to paper 2, there will be one difficult 2-mark question, one 3-mark question, and one 4 or 5-mark question. Yeah. So I would say it depends on how you define what difficult is. Are you talking about thinking question or very tedious and hard to do? Tedious, like very long step, and then end up making calculation mistake. Okay. So I will define difficult question meaning like thinking, and it requires a very deep understanding of concept to be able to execute the steps confidently. Sometimes questions like angles question that we show a lot to our BlueTree students, angles question with no numbers in the diagram at all. So if there's no diagram, no diagrams, what I say, no numbers in the diagram at all. If there are no numbers on it, that means you must know the properties these every shape so well that you're able to answer the questions. Okay? Do you see the papers getting more and more difficult? No, I don't. I think the difficulty level has been very consistent. Yeah, very good questions has been set. So you only need a 2-mark killer question and that's it. Another 3-mark killer question, another 5-mark killer question. 2, 3, 5 makes 10, AL1 gone. Yeah. Okay. So, and the other one is I do see, because I used to teach in a gifted program, we have students who are very fast in their work. And what happened? Yeah, they skip reading and then careless mistake sets in. So simple words like I use half the flour, or I use half kg of the flour, or I use half of the remainder. That just one misreading of that statement, right, can actually cause you to lose your mark already, because the execution will be very different. Okay. Not to put in any types of units in my working, but she told me that I should only put it in the final answer blanks. I don't advocate that, because if the kid forget to fill in the answer blank, then you lose half a mark. So I would say that I prefer my students to actually write the units throughout in the working. But those who don't keep to that habit, just have to constantly remind yourself that you must put the units at the answer blank for every question. Wow, so many questions tonight. Woohoo! Based on your experience, how many years of PSLE paper should students practice so that they can confidently know or have seen 90% of the question? The thing is that PSLE questions do not get recycled. Okay, they are seldom recycled, although concepts are repeated over and over again, very much like science question. You may know that fractions, this topic will appear. Okay, this type will appear, but you do not see the same exact question that will appear. So students who actually go through the idea of drilling themselves to be able to do them, drill, that means you learn it, what's the word for it? Like that you drill yourself to do it without deeper understanding. You might not be able to cope with it when the questions are being twisted. You know, they just twist the way it's asked, and then you just like, oops, I do not know how to do this. I've never seen this question before, you know, something like that. So I would say that please practice your math with a lot of deep understanding of the concepts. Okay. Are algebra questions in PSLE hard? No, not at all. They are not asking for advanced algebra work in secondary 1. It's just basically, example, I have 10 apples and I need to divide by X number of people. The examiner just want to see that your child knows how to express 10 over X and not write 10 divide by X. So that is no marks. So you need to express division in the form of a fraction. So they just want to see that your child is able to express the algebra correctly. Okay. All right, let's go on to the question type. Okay, hand over to you, Mingy.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Faith. Yeah, so this is the PSLE 2022 paper 2 question. So this actually is a fraction remainder question and it's 2 marks. All right, so students and parents, you can participate in the conversation as I run through. I wouldn't just be explaining or running through the whole question, but we also hope to hear from all of you the inputs. All right. Now, Marie had caps for sale. In the morning, she sold 1/3 of the caps. In the afternoon, she sold 1/5 of the remaining caps. After that, there were 56 caps left. How many caps did Mariam have at first? Now, how would you, as a student, first see such a question? How would you actually solve it? Would you want to put your inputs into the chat?
Oh, branching.
Wow, switch sides model.
What switch sides? I never heard of this term.
Make denominator the same, okay?
Oh,
okay. So I saw some common errors between that is made by students. Now, okay, let me recap on a bit. Okay, so there's highlighted portion here. It says that in the morning she sold 1/3 of the caps. All right, so that means out of the 3 units, okay, 1 unit was being sold. So you are left with 2 units, right? Now in the afternoon, she sold 1/5 of the remaining caps. So this remaining, does it talk about the 2 units? or it's talking about the entire caps of 3 units?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. I saw some people putting 2 units. Yes, that's right. Okay, so they are talking about the remaining, which is the remaining 2 units. Now these 2 units became 5 different parts, right? Okay, so I saw some of you mention to make the denominator the same. So do take note, this is a common error done by students, that they just see the first question, they immediately jump to making denominator the same. Okay, so it's very important that you underline the keywords, like what teacher Faith mentioned just now. For the solve technique, always underline the keywords and note it down. Okay, now so over here, the 2 parts, we actually split it into 5 units. Okay, and out of this 5, 1 unit is the one that was sold in the afternoon, and the remaining 4 units, 56 caps left. So from here, we can actually work backwards. We know that 4 units is 56, and therefore we can find 1 unit, which is equals to 14. And then we find a total 5 units. Okay, so once we find the 5 units, which is 70, we move back the figure up. Okay, and we realize that, remember, we mentioned that the 2 parts that was left is actually equals to 70. Therefore, 1 part will be 35. Okay, now let's read back the question again. The question told me to find how many caps did Mariam have at first. Okay, so at first is 3 parts. Therefore, we take 35 times 3, and that is your answer. Okay, so do take note that you need to draw your model so that you won't miss out the different parts. And also remember to underline the keywords. So just now remember our solve technique. We mentioned about the key, which is the 1 unit. So once you find your 1 unit, okay, it's easier for you to solve all the different questions. Yeah, so that is the answer for this solution for this question.
Yeah.
Anyone
So
has?
we also call this the drop-down model approach. It is very neat, nice, and not confusing at all. We have seen students how they actually take the 2 units, the original model, and start cutting up 5 parts to it. If they mess up in the cutting and they get confused, and that's where, you know, the careless mistake will set in. So adopt this method, okay? You know when I started using this? When I was 9 years old. Yeah, 36 years ago. I remember what I learned in school, and this is a method that was taught to me, and I use it in primary school. So parents who are about my age, actually we learn model drawing, a lot of it back then in school. Probably you don't quite remember because you don't really use it very often after that. Yeah, so I grew up with models. Okay, let's go on to the next question.
Yeah, I think some of them mentioned about different other methods that they use. Some of them use fraction method instead.
Yes.
So yeah,
yes.
you can use whichever method that you are more comfortable and that is easier for you to understand.
Yes. Okay, someone just asked this question that, oh yeah, it should be 2p and the 1p. You are correct. Oh, that's my typo error. Okay, thanks for alerting me. I should have put this as p. You are absolutely right. So you are right. Thank you very much for highlighting that. So the little units at the bottom, I should have named it units, and the one at the top, I'll name it as parts. Hey, I see that yet. You have not learned percentage, so you are probably not in primary 6 yet. You're in P5. Don't worry, whatever percentage you see over here, we're just going to change it into fraction, so you can think 20% in terms of 1/5. Okay? Okay, I'll explain this one. All right. So a zoo gives a discount of 20%. Gives a 20% discount on all tickets on weekdays. Members are then given a further discount of $2 for every ticket they buy. Take note of that, okay? Every ticket they buy. Then in the middle of the story, it says Liming is a member and pays $55 for 5 tickets. This one you got to be careful, because if you don't read carefully and you thought it's $55 each, then you're going to work out something extra that's not really needed. Possible? Parents, you hear that? The kids may just thought it's 54 times 5. You don't need to do that, okay? 54 is the total. So since there was a discount given already, 54 is the price they already paid after the discount. And there are 5 members, 5 people in there. So 5 times 2 is a $10 that was already discount given That's why this person paid 54. So before the discount, this person paid 64, right? And 64 is the price after the 20% discount. So 80% must be 64. You see that? Okay. So for the P5 kids, children or P4 children, everything that we have comes in terms of 100%. Like the bread that you eat, everything in whole is 100%. If you eat half of it, it's called 50%. Okay. If you eat 80% of it, then you're eating 4/5 of it. All right. So 100% of the tickets, we are talking about 64 divided by 80 times 100, and that makes like $80. So then the tricky part is they didn't ask for the original price before the discount. They're asking for how much did each ticket cost without the discount. Isn't that tricky, parents? So at the end of it, this 2-mark question, right, has a lot of catch point. Do you see that? It's very easy to catch you where the first part, 54 plus 10 or 54 minus 10. That's step 1. Okay. After you've gotten that, is to figure out whether that amount is it 80%, 20%, or 100%. So parents, you tell me, is PSLE that difficult? It is more like the reading and interpretation of the question. Okay. So therefore, final step that the mistake that the children could possibly make is they give the full price of $80 instead of dividing by 5. All right. The answer to this question is $16. Do you get that? Take a photograph of that. So parents, when you are marking your child's work, don't just focus on the answer and put ticks all over. Take time to look at their solution, look at the way they present their work. Many times I've trained my teachers in the team. They all know, all right, that full marks does not mean, correct answer does not mean full marks. Could be a correct answer, 5 mark given to you. We spot something amiss, not quite right, we'll minus 1 mark for the wrong mathematical representation. Fluke is different. If it's fluke, right, that's 0. From beginning to the end, 0. Okay, we're going to show you the next question. Okay. All right.
Okay, the next one is from PSLE 2021. It's a 3 marks question in paper 2. So this concept is actually repeated identity. So this is actually a ratio question. So Alan, Ben, and Chandra shared the cost of a gift. The ratio of Alan's share to the total share of Ben and Chandra was 1:3. Okay, so take note that it talks about Alan is to the total of Ben and Chandra. Okay, so a lot of people just skip the word total and then they'll be like, is it just Ben and Chandra 1:3? Yeah, so it's very important to read. Now the ratio of Ben's share to the total share of Alan and Chandra was 1:5. Okay, therefore Chandra's share was $80 more than Ben's share. How much did the gift cost? Now this is actually a repeated identity question. Now, are you able to identify who is the repeated one?
A, B, C, everybody.
Everyone is repeated. Yeah, okay, so the main thing is that because they are all repeated, but we know one thing for sure is that their total is the same, right? Because they shared the cost of a gift. The gift can't possibly A, B, and C at the first part. They pay a price, and the second part, they pay another price, right? So the total is the same. Therefore, we make them total units the same. Now, if we look at this, the total units is 12. Okay, so once we break it down, we see that Alan actually has total 3 units. And if we refer to the right side where Ben is to A plus C, Alan is also in the portion of A plus C. Therefore, we know that Alan 3 units, Chandra will be 7 units, and we bring down Ben 2 units. Therefore, we get this 3:2:7. And when we look at Chandra's share is $80 more than Ben, we know that Chandra versus Ben difference is 5 units. Okay, so therefore 5 units is $80. And we can work backwards to find out how much is 12 units by finding 1 unit first, and then we find 12 units. And therefore my answer is $192. Good job. I saw some of you getting the answer.
We have a group of very smart children here.
Yes.
Kids, I'm so proud of you. Oh, okay, Saturday I see you, I give you a kiss, okay? Mwah, mwah, mwah. Yeah. Hey, children, you forgot your dollar sign. You put 192, 192, but you forgot to put the dollar sign, minus half a mark.
Yes, good
Yeah.
job. All the answers are coming in. You're faster than me.
Okay, I say I want to give them a kiss, then they'll probably log out already. Like, no, 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 I don't want. Yeah, we have a lot more questions to share. So
Yes.
children, have you all seen this type of question before? I know my BlueTree students surely have seen this type before. Okay, I expose you more than enough of different types. How about the non-BlueTree students? Have you encountered such a question before and you didn't know what to do? Yeah, okay. There's another type that also total stays the same, which is the number of pages of a book read and unread. Because the total number of pages in the book is fixed, like example, 100 pages, right? Day 1, you read 20, 80 unread. Day 2, you read up to page 45, 55 unread. But the total must always add up to 100. Okay, we'll cover that some in, I haven't did that before in our math program. Yeah.
Okay. I think some of them were saying they couldn't answer because they're writing down the questions. How about parents or students? Maybe you would
Take a
like to
photo.
take a photo instead, so you could
Yeah.
focus on understanding instead of busy copying the questions.
Yeah, just take a photo
Yeah.
of it, and we will also share the recording. Just take a photograph of the story, and then you can take a look at how we present our work. Present it the same way, and you will get the full mark. Okay, this is standard. This is what I call it, the best type of presentation teachers want to see. Trust
Yes.
me. Okay.
If somebody asks, do you think using model is more useful?
The model. That's a lot to cut, Then you really have to portion it very carefully, such that the 1:3 is properly cut up into 12 parts. I would say that actually model drawing works for a lot of questions and almost all types of questions.
Yeah.
However, I think it's going to be very time consuming. That's my personal take on this. Yeah, but if you can draw model, and this is a 3-mark question, and you can cut it up and do it in 2 minutes or less, you are safe. If you take 3 minutes, 5 minutes to do it, then I don't think it is a wise approach. Okay? Yeah. Kaylin just said, I think ratio is more efficient. Thank you. Good,
And
Kaylin.
also, I do notice some of my students who draw models, they can't really draw equal. So halfway through, they cut, they forgot to add one more in and they missed out. Yeah, so I always
Yes.
get them to check.
No, then after they cut, they start to recount. Then after they count, they miscount. So it's not only the drawing error, there could be counting errors. So I would say anything more than 10, 15 units, I think better don't draw. Yeah, very dangerous. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Teacher Mingy, you do this and then I'll do the tic-tac-toe solution.
Okay. Now this next question, okay, is actually for, I saw a lot, there's some P4 students in here and P5 students. So this will definitely be applicable for all of you. So Simon here baked a total of 176 chocolate and strawberry cupcakes. Now take note, it's a total of both cupcakes add together, 176. I have students who tell me, Teacher Minnie, it's 176 chocolate and don't know how many strawberries. Okay, so do take note of the word total both items together, okay? Now, after giving away 4 out of 5, 4/5 of the chocolate cupcakes and 2/3 of the strawberry cupcakes, he was left with 52 cupcakes all together. How many chocolate cupcakes did he bake at first? Now, there's a lot of different ways to actually do this question, okay? So there are some ways that we'll definitely share along the way. Now, first question, is the total the same? Anyone wants to answer?
You mean total of chocolate and strawberry?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, because first step, most of my students will see, teacher, 4/5 chocolate cupcakes, 2/3 strawberry. So that means my total denominator the same. Is it the same? No. Yes, very good. I saw some of you putting no. Okay, so it's not, all right? Because everything is changed here. They didn't mention specifically that there is total equal amount of chocolate and strawberries, okay? Now, so over here, if we break it down, he gave away 4/5 of the chocolate cupcakes, means out of the 5 units of chocolate cupcakes, okay? 4 gave away and you're left with 1, all right? And then 2/3 of the strawberry cupcakes were also given away, means out of the 3 units total strawberry cupcakes, 2 units was given away and you're left with 1 unit. Is everyone following? Now, so this is a common mistake, not the same, because the question did not state that they are equal. Okay, so you cannot assume that because these two is 1 unit and therefore they are 1 unit of chocolate plus 1 unit of strawberry equals to 52, and then you start to find 2 units is 52. Okay, so that's a common error. All right, please do take note because it didn't mention it's the same. Okay, now therefore, how can we solve this question? We could actually use an equation to resolve this question.
Oh, my tic-tac-toe approach.
Okay, I can do it too. Okay,
Okay.
so the tic-tac-toe. Now, so just now as we mentioned, right, the chocolate total we have 5 units. Okay, so at the beginning, so therefore in this thing, why is it called tic-tac-toe? Because when you look at this whole model here, does it resembles a bit of a tic-tac-toe? Okay, some students will tell me, no, teacher, this is a table. Okay, but we use it as a tic-tac-toe for easier for us to remember. So at the beginning, all right, we always use start, change, end. At the beginning, there's 5 chocolates. And then we give away 4. Therefore, we are left with 1 at the end. Okay, so is it much easier? We break it down. Now, next one. Total, we have 3 units of strawberries. We break it down, we give 2 away, and we left with 1. Okay, so total chocolate strawberry, we have 176. And the total ending, we have 52 cupcakes. Therefore, in the middle, the change is actually 176 minus 52, which will give me 124 cupcakes as the difference. All right. So over here, we can actually form 2 equations. The first equation from the top, we see 5C plus 3 strawberry equals to 176. And then at the end, we have 1 chocolate and 1 strawberry equals to 52. Okay, then you'll be like, teacher, how to do? Most students will just take 5 chocolate plus 3 strawberry minus 1 chocolate minus 1 strawberry, and they'll take 176 minus 52. And then they're stuck. Teacher, I have left with 4 chocolate and 2 strawberry. What should I do, right? Now, so actually, if you look at the question actually asks how many chocolate cupcakes were there. So actually what you can actually do is you can remove one of the items. And how do you remove? Yes, I saw some of you mentioning multiply 3. Yes, so if you look at the top, 5 chocolates plus 3 strawberries, there's actually 3 strawberries in the equation. And if you look back at the bottom equation, if you multiply this whole set by 3, you could actually get the same 3 strawberries. And from here, is it easier that you take the top minus the bottom and you only have 1 variable? Yes, that's right. That's 2 cupcakes, which will give me 20, and therefore I can find 1 of it at 10. Okay, but is that my final answer? No, right? Because they asked you to find at first. So if you look back at the tic-tac-toe, the starting point is 5 chocolates. Therefore, we multiply 10 times 5, which will give me 50 chocolate cupcakes. Okay, so some students might also ask, teacher, can I find chocolate first instead of strawberry? Yes, you can also. You can multiply the chocolate by 5, this one C plus 1 strawberry, the whole set by 5, and then you find a strawberry and you work backwards also can. But it's definitely much easier, lesser steps as well, if you remove the item that is not needed.
So over here, what we did was that because the chocolate units and the strawberry units are different, so we never use U in the solving. We didn't call it 5U, 4U, 1U. They are just different. Like you say, oh, daddy, I want half of your money. Then you go to mommy, I want half of your money in your wallet, example, okay? They will not have the same amount of money in their wallet, and the half that you're going to get from each of them is going to be different. So it's like half of daddy's unit and half of mommy's unit. They are different. So therefore, in this question, the chocolate and the strawberry, I had to use a different symbol, a C and a ST, which is to take the acronym of the object itself. I know some school teachers may use U and P, units and parts. Then that's called the units and parts approach, right? I don't really use U and P unnecessarily because I've seen this mistake made by pupils after they found one unit, they forgot units it was meant for chocolates or strawberry, and they make a mess at the end again. So that is why I just follow the acronym of the item. C for chocolate, strawberry. I didn't put an S because the S looked like a letter 5, so I put ST like tagged to it. Okay. Okay, so a student said I never get any money. Oh, so sad. Yeah, is this gonna be paper 1 or paper 2? I would say if the numbers are smaller, possible paper 1. Okay, if the numbers and fractions are bigger and more complex, then could be paper 2. Okay, even one side unchanged, total unchanged, like all these type of questions, they can be found in both paper 1 and paper 2. SEAB is so smart. When we are setting the paper, right, we are aware you have a calculator or no calculator, and we know how to make things workable in the various components. Okay, how much is this? How many marks is this question worth? It is about, let me see, 1, 2, 3 to 4 marks. Not a 5-mark question, 3 to 4 marks only. Okay. What is this approach we are using? We are working on the second method. Oh, this is an equal ending one. Okay, I'll work on this one then. So Andy baked a total of 176 chocolate and strawberry cupcakes. We use the same number of items and the same items. Okay, but I put E for ending because this concept is equal ending. Okay, bad pun. After giving away 4/5 of the chocolate cupcakes and 2/3 of the strawberry cupcakes, he had an equal number at the end. Okay, so bear in mind, this will be equal number at the end. Oh, someone wants a previous page. Okay, just in time. You want to take a picture, a quick picture of this? Yeah. 3, 2, 1. All right, I'll go on. Okay, let's go on. So over here, let me just move on a little faster. Is the total the same? They didn't mention at the beginning they had equal number of chocolate or strawberry. They also did not mention that they gave away equal number. They only said there's equal number at the end. Okay, so maybe teacher Ming-Yi has some money and I have some money, and she went to buy a pair of shoes and I went to buy a handbag. Then at the end, when we meet each other, then we say, we only got $10 left. You know, she has $10 and I have $10. But I wouldn't know how much she started off her day with. And she also do not know what I started my day with, you know? You know what I mean? Okay. So the beginning, is it the same? No, it's not. It's only the ending that is the same. All right. Okay. I see a lot of answers being typed into the chat. So hang on, okay? We'll review the answer soon. All right. So what we're going to do is show you a very simple model drawing technique over here. Okay, where you can see the blue box, okay, is a stack of the same size, and we call this a double-decker bus. Okay, sorry, double-decker model. You can call it double-decker bed also can. Because once they are of the same size, it's very easy to understand that they are equal. And then I place another 4 white units for chocolate, and then 2 more units for the strawberries. Okay, total 176. You can easily put the units together at one glance. Right? So some children will tell me, teacher, I visualize a model in my head. Trust me, pupils who draw, okay, they draw and they solve the question. They will finish it a few seconds. I wouldn't dare to say 1 minute, but a few seconds, like maybe 20 seconds, 10 seconds, faster than the one that's visualizing. Okay, 8 units is 176. 1 unit is 22. And to find out what we are looking for, chocolates or strawberries, beginning or the end, right? Read the question again. Okay, so the cupcakes big at first would be 5 units. So that's why it's 22 times 5. Did they get it correct in the chat? Oh, we got very smart kids here. Everyone got the answer 110.
Yes. Everybody got it before we even.
Is this called a comparison model? Yes. A comparison model means like one long, one short, is it? The children can identify as a comparison model very quickly if they see the word more than or less than. I have $10 more than teacher Mei. Then immediately you know it's a comparison model. But for this, right, you will have to read the structure and see what is needed, and you keep adding the units to find out whether who has more and who has less. Okay? Wow, you used it that ah. Wow, so proud of you.
Everyone is excited for the next few methods.
What is this method? I forgot already. Oh, this is still equal ending.
Just using the numerators the same.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Teacher me.
Okay, this is the second method that you can actually use for this question, which is actually instead of drawing models, you use fraction. So I believe some of you mentioned about can you use fraction method to solve? Yes, definitely you can if you are able to identify which is the one that you're supposed to convert. Okay, because over here you can see that a lot of people, like we mentioned just now, they will jump straight into making the denominator the same. But over here, they said that the equal portion is actually the amount of cupcakes that is left, which is 1/5 chocolate cupcakes and 1/3 strawberry. Now, this is a very straightforward question whereby because both are 1 units, so therefore the numerator 1 unit, we do not need to do any changes. But there could be cases like they mentioned after giving away 3/5 of the chocolate cupcakes, so you're left with 2/5, right? And you give away 2/3 strawberry cupcakes, means you're left with 1/3. So it becomes a 2/5 chocolate is to 1/3 strawberry, and you'll be confused again. You'll be like, oh, my denominator has to be the same, right? I believe many parents will have such encounter. Yeah, so if they were to read carefully, it's actually equal number that is left, which is the numerators, which is the leftover. So therefore, in this question, we do not need to convert, but let's just say if it's a 2/5 chocolate and a 1/3 strawberry, we have to convert the 1 unit of strawberry into 2 units. Then you'll become equal. Yeah, so over here, we know since it's already converted, we know that the final total units is 8 units, which is 176. 1 unit would be 22, and we look back, we find 5 units, 110. Okay,
So this question is the straightforward one. Okay, like the direct one. So no conversion is required yet. Yeah.
Yes.
But we do cover a lot of this in P4 right up to P6.
Yeah, and also I think some parents got to take note when your children convert, some of them only convert numerators, they forgot to convert the denominator. So that's another common error. It's a whole package.
Okay. Teacher Mei teaches P3, P4, P5. So you do see this growth in the children, the transition stage. She sees a lot of them, like how they keep making the same error over and over again, and all those that follow her throughout grow with her from P2 to P3 to P4 and now to P5, right? You can see that how they mature and improve in their skills. So such habits, right, is not something that you come to me for a lesson this week and then by next week we fix the error. Because once the habit is set, ingrained, it takes a long time to unlearn and relearn. Parents, you have to believe in me, okay? You have a certain way of cooking your fried rice. If you have somebody else like your mother-in-law to teach you a new way of cooking fried rice, I tell you, you will take a long time to unlearn and relearn. First, you cannot even accept that new idea, right? Okay, so the children take a while to adopt the different strategy. So just now I showed model drawing. That was the most basic in primary 4 and primary I don't think we do that a lot of that in P3, but in primary 4, first part of the year, we do a lot of model drawing. Second part of the year, we will expose them to this numerator make the same method, where the P5 and P6 will get a lot more practice on it. Okay. And I think I'm repeating this question for a third method. Yeah, my favorite tic-tac-toe method. Someone say PSLE is coming. Yes, my dear, it's coming tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to show you how I write the units, okay? How do I know this concept is a start, change, end? Teacher, why do you always know the left-hand side is start, change, end? It's because of the word giving away. Gave away and what is left. So you know something had happened. Lost the marbles, gave away the stamps, ate the cookies. So it starting there's a number, then there were some changes. All right. And then ending is a different number. Okay. So I'm going to start with 5 units. 4 units is gone. And then 1 unit is left for the chocolates. All right. And then 3 units for the strawberry, 2 gone and 1 left. And why I can stick to this approach here is because you check in with the ending number. 1 matches the 1 on the other side, which fulfill the requirement that the equal number of cupcakes left, okay, is the same. So therefore, we can easily conclude that the first part, 8 units, is 176. If you keep practicing the tic-tac-toe approach, I had this kid who joined me in like 2 to 3 months. He quickly changed all his strategies, all his old ways of doing the model drawing, the equal fraction method. He adopted this tic-tac-toe approach, and he scored so well for the next exam. He told me he truly believed in it and how powerful it can be. Because not only did he manage it with confidence, he actually managed to check the entire paper twice. When you use a correct strategy, you have the extra time. You're able to save time per question. If you can save 10 to 20 seconds per question, do you know that it's many, many minutes put together? Okay. My parents say this POW is the second. What is POW? Oh, PSLE is the second hardest. No lah. Every year is hard lah. So study hard, okay? You cannot get by anything without learning something and without spending enough time on it. If you spend so much time on your gaming is going to gain so much points. So many points on it. What can you exchange it for? Nothing, right? So you should spend all your time revising and preparing for this exam. And when you score so well on it, you're going to exchange with a lot more rewards. A lot more, because you have wider choice of school, wider choice of things that you want to do. Okay? Is this another equal ending?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, so this is actually using the tic-tac-toe method as well. Okay, so this is actually a 2 marks question. So just now when we went through the other few questions, they are a bit heavier. So like what Teacher Faith has mentioned, the numbers, if you see that it's bigger, it's usually about 3 to 4 marks. So this one, the numbers are smaller, which is more manageable without a calculator. Okay, so just briefly run through. The number of boys to the number of girls in the hall is in the ratio of 2:5. Okay, so at the beginning, there's 2 units, and there's 2 units of boys, 5 units of girls, and 11 boys entered the hall, while half the number of girls left the hall. Okay, so you can see from here that they told us the number of boys that enter, but they didn't give us the number of girls that left the hall. But instead, they gave us a half. All right, and the ratio then become, for the boys to the girls, become 1:1. Okay, so how many children were there in the hall at first? Okay, so we know that there's an equal ending over here. Okay, so but is this really the equal? Let's take a look. Now, if we were to do the boys, okay, the change would be 11 boys that enter. So therefore, we add 11 to the boys. All right, and as for the girls, because half of them left, okay, but we can't take 5 divided by 2 to become 2.5 units. Therefore, we multiply. You can see over here, our start, we do multiply it to make the numbers bigger. So it's easier for us to minus. Okay, so when we multiply bigger, we see that there's total 10 units of girls and half of it, which is 5. All right, therefore 5 left the hall and you are left with 5 at the end. Okay, and since we remember just now the ratio of boys to girls is 1:1. Therefore, if the girls is 5 units, the boys is also 5 units. Okay, so this is a equal ending. All right. Now, so based on the ending of boys 5 units and the beginning of boys 4 units, there's a difference of 1 unit, which is equals to 11. Okay. So if we were to look at how many children were there in the hall at first, total 14 units, and therefore 14 times 11 gives me 154. Yes, good job to all those who have got the answer.
What do you think is the common mistake made by students? Parents, you want to give it a guess? What is the common mistake made at the last part? Really, just 2 marks. we can have like 10 kids in a room and 3 of them gonna make this mistake. Let's see what you're typing. It is okay to work with 2.5 units. It's just that, working with decimals is a bit tricky. If you have a very strong number sense, you are okay with 2.5, go ahead and use it, okay? Now, I tell you what, okay? The children will use 1 unit is 11, and then they ask for the number of children in the hall at first. They take the first ratio, 2 plus 5, 7 units, and it takes 11 times 7. They forgot that they have already changed the units to 4:10, and they go and apply it to the 2:5 that's in the maths question itself. So that is why in the tic-tac-toe, it records the process. And so the kids must remember that they have to use the second ratio that they have converted to. Okay? Oh, you box up the start. Very good. You seem to have very good practice, Kaylee. Yeah, well done. Well done. Do you want to take a picture of this before I go on to the next slide? Just now a parent asked if we could go back to the previous slide. Let me just wait a while over here, then I'll bring back a couple of steps to the next slide, okay? It requires a bit of moving up and down, a couple of animations. When do we use first ratio and second ratio? Once the second ratio is formed, the first ratio is passed. We don't use it anymore. Because the entire solving is used using the second ratio, right? Okay, very good, Sarah. Your teacher has very good practices for you. Follow this teacher's instruction. She's a very, very good school teacher. Okay. All right, I'm just going to quickly bring you back to the previous slide for this parent to take a picture. All right, so this is the tic-tac-toe method. You want to take a photo of this? All right, 3, 2, 1. Wow, your teacher also used something like this tic-tac-toe. Well done. Good. So we are aligned, and then it's not hard to learn our BlueTree method as well. Okay. Have you heard of equal change? We have seen equal start, equal end. Have you heard of equal change? That means he gave an equal number of items away. All right. Bradley is one of my very special student in my teaching career. So Bradley baked a total of 176 chocolate and strawberry cupcakes. All right. And then giving away 4/5 of the chocolate cupcakes and 2/3. And the point here is saying that whatever he gave away is actually an equal number of cupcakes of each type.
Yeah.
And how are we going to present this? Okay. Questions that we should always ask ourselves is the total the same? Is the leftover the same? But in this question, you identify that what is the same is actually the change. All right. That is the change, the same. All right. So we're going to draw models. Okay. So I'm going to show that part where the given away, the 4/5 of the chocolate. Can you see my 4 little units there? They are the same size as the 2/3 of the strawberry at the bottom. They are the same. Okay. Then I'll add the other 1/5 that was left behind and the other 1/3 that was left behind. And what do you need to do with the units? Can you type in the chat? What do I need to do with the model? The units. Very good, very good. You cut it. Thank you. Yes, you chop it, cut it like a cake. So everything is 176, and you can see we slide down this little orange lines there, and they are all of equal size. And this is when we can start to equate the equation, put them together, unitary approach. Your school teacher will use this method. Whether you put 11U is arrow or equals 176 does not matter at PSLE. You check in with your teacher, you follow your teacher's style, okay? And then we found out that 1 unit is 16. Read the question again. What do they want? Chocolate, strawberry, beginning or the end, right? So chocolate at first would be 5 units, so 16 times 5. There you go. Your answer is 80. A couple of wrong answers, but a couple of correct answers. Yeah, it's okay, Esther. Follow your teacher. Your teacher wants arrow, then put arrow. If a school teacher says dash, you put a dash. Why I could say this confidently? I teach hundreds of P6 students every year, and nobody gave a uniform answer. Yeah, everyone in the room, they will raise their hand and say, my teacher say use equal. And then another few of them will raise hand and say, no, my teacher say use dash, a long, long dash. And then another group will raise their hand and say, oh, my teacher say use arrow. And the other one or two will say, she say use double line arrow. Really does not matter at all. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Travis. He said my teacher say can use anything. That's the honest answer. Take a picture of this before we go on to the next question. Okay, 3, 2. Yeah, we got another 100 slides, so we better speed up.
All right, the next one is her method 2. Now, actually, if you have seen just now a few questions, we actually been through 3 different methods, which is quite consistently used between all these kind of common questions. Okay, so this one is the next one is the numerator, which is the same. All right, so just now I have mentioned before that in the first few questions, right, our numerator is the same, therefore we do not need to convert. But over here, because the amount that you give away is 4 units of chocolate and 2 units of strawberry, and they also mentioned that because they are equal number that was given away, therefore our numerators are the same here, all right? So if I were to convert it into 4, okay, remember to convert the top and the bottom together, I will have a total of 11 units of chocolate and strawberry cupcakes, which will equate to 176. And therefore, 1 unit is 16. And we look back, chocolate cupcakes, 5 units, the answer is 80. Okay, now if they were to ask you to find strawberries, do take note that you're supposed to find 6 units and not 3 units, because we use the converted units to find my 1 unit. All right, therefore, do take note of this portion. Okay.
Yeah, take a picture of this. I would say that children who has, the ability to switch and able to learn as many approaches as possible do have more weapons, more armor, bullets to use, right? If you only know of just one method, and you get stuck with that model drawing example during exam, you might go into a panic state, right? Because you don't have any other armor with you already, ammo, sorry, not armor, ammo. So you have another approach, you go like, maybe I'll give it a try, make numerator the same, right? Or the other one says, hey, I remember teacher Faith or teacher Mei taught tic-tac-toe approach, let's give it a try. Or my school teacher uses that, let's give it a try. So then you have 2 approaches to check and see if you get it right. Okay, let's go on to the next question. This is equal change, and this is, I'm going to show you how we do it on the tic-tac-toe. And the same headers that we'll write chocolate and strawberry. The total is 176. We keep the question the same, so you don't have to take a long time to internalize the question. So what we do is I'm going to write 5C for 5 chocolate units, and then 4 chocolate units and 1 chocolate unit left, right? And then for strawberry, we have 3 strawberry units, 2 strawberry units, and 1 strawberry units left. And if we are going to give away an equal number, then that's where you see the strawberry units is not made equal yet. So I have to multiply by 2 and make that number a 4 chocolate unit. That was how you see in the model, it got cut up. We cut it up using the orange lines. Okay, they are all interrelated, but their developmental stage. Primary 4 is model drawing. All right, primary 5 is making numerator the same. And then primary 6, they can proceed to do it in this manner. Okay, and therefore you can see all those strawberry units got cut up, and that's why it's 6C, 4C, and 2C. And then same thing, we link up the info, 11 units or 11 chocolate units is 176. And that's how we solve it the same way as the previous question. So the solving at the back will end up to be the same, but the start, the execution is a decision that the child will make. Model drawing, equal fraction method, or tic-tac-toe approach. Okay. What if during the exam got no more space to finish the question? Okay, you need to work on your space organization skills. If you already have this problem, that means you are not using your space wisely. During exam, you're not allowed to raise your hand and ask for a piece of paper. They won't give it to you. So what you do is, I think at the back of the booklet, there could be some empty space and you write your solution there. However, on the question itself here, you must say, please refer to the last page. If not, the teacher is not going to scan that page for you. Quite dangerous. Try to write everything within that page itself. Okay? Take a picture of this and then we'll go on to the next question. I think we should be finishing soon. Yep, just one more question to go.
Okay, you need to finish up this? Okay, come. Last question. This is a PSLE 2021 paper 1 question. All right, this is equal change and this is worth 2 marks. All right. Now, Susan had a box of blue beads and red beads in the ratio of 7:13. She removed an equal number of blue beads and red beads from the box. The ratio of the number of blue beads and red beads left in the box became 1:3. What percentage of the beads were left in the box? Okay, so the main thing here is that because there's equal that's being removed, all right, so is there any change? What thing remains the same? Yes, correct. So some of you put difference unchanged. Very good. Okay, because let's just say if I'm going to put it into a value instead, let's just say if I have 10 blue and you have 5 red, our difference is 5, right? Now, if I were to remove 2 from my side and you remove equally 2 from your side, I will become 8 and you'll become 3. Our difference is still 5. Okay, so when it's equally removed, our difference remains the same. Therefore, over here, if I were to put it into the start, change, and pedagogical model inside, all right, I will realize that my difference, okay, I should be making it them the same. All right, see the blue and the red, the difference is 6 units, and the leftover is 2 parts, right? Now I put parts here because this is not my final units. Therefore, I use it to differentiate out. Now, if I were to put the 2 parts into 6 units, convert to 6 units, I can see now my difference is the same. And therefore, in between my change is equal units, 4 units. Okay, now some people will be like, how do I convert it into percentage when there is no value number given for number of bits, right? So what you can do is you work with the number of units. Okay, so you can see total blue plus red is 13, 9 plus 3, right? 12, sorry, 12. Okay, 12 units. And total, I have 20 units. So 12 over 20 times 100% gives me 60%. That's how I solve my question. Okay.
So parents, you see a question like this, 2 marks in a paper 1. Paper 1. So the concept of equal change, equal beginning, equal end is always tested year after year for PSLE. Here this are equal beginning, equal change, equal end. It can be tested in PSLE very often, paper 1 or paper 2. And the other one will be one side unchanged, total unchanged, difference unchanged. Yeah, everything changed. Not so often, but when it's being tested, it's not the difficult type. Okay,